Listening 1. Polar bears at risk. Listen for main ideas. Page 176.
Here on Wrangel Island, a team of scientists watches 3 polar bears that grip the edge of the ice. To these scientists, the polar bear's fragile hold on the ice is a symbol of their slipping hold on a disappearing world. Wrangel Island is part of Russia and is located in the Arctic Ocean. It is home to one of the largest concentrations of polar bears in the world. This team of scientists has been doing research on the polar bears in this area for more than a decade. They hope to gain knowledge from their research that will help the polar bear in the future. The information they have gathered so far is alarming. Their research suggests that not only is the population of polar bears decreasing, but the size of the bears themselves is also decreasing. The scientists have concluded that the polar bear is facing a crisis as a result of climate change. Their research shows that climate change is having a devastating effect on the polar bear habitat, the ice. Most people have read that the ice caps are melting because of climate change, but for most of us this problem feels very distant. But it is not for the polar bear. The polar bear is a creature of the ice. The ice is its home. Its body is specially adapted to the cold, with a double layer of fur and hollow hairs that work to trap the animal's body heat to keep it warm in the freezing temperatures. Pregnant polar bears build dens in the ice, often far from dry land. Polar bears also hunt on the ice, usually for ringed seals. Polar bears do not truly hibernate. They are active year-round. However, they can only hunt while there is plenty of sea ice during the winter and early spring. To hunt, the bear usually finds an active breathing hole, a gap in the ice used by seals to take a breath. The bear crouches above the breathing hole, and as soon as a seal surfaces, the bear dashes to the hole and drags the seal out of the water with its powerful claws. Although polar bears are excellent swimmers, they are not fast enough to catch the seals in open water. They have to stay on the ice and move quickly as soon as the seal shows its head. During the late summer and early fall, when the ice is melted, they cannot hunt, and so they have to live off their fat reserves and the meager supply of food that is available. But the ice is not as stable as it once was. As temperatures rise, the ice is melting earlier in the year. This means that the bears have a shorter hunting season. They enter the summer thinner and less prepared to survive. And as the ice melts, it retreats, creating greater distances between one hunting area and another. A well-fed polar bear can swim at least 50 miles. But as the distance between hunting areas increases, and as the bears get thinner, they sometimes drown trying to reach a distant food source. At the moment, the polar bear population is around 20 to 25,000 worldwide. In some places, the number of polar bears has gone down significantly over the last 15 to 20 years. Why are there fewer bears? One reason is that the birth rate is decreasing. Polar bears used to have 2 or 3 cubs at one time, and 2/3 would survive. Now, 1 cub is the norm, and not as many of the cubs survive to adulthood. Polar bears are also smaller than they used to be. In the past, an adult male polar bear might weigh up to 1,800 pounds. Now most weigh less than 1,000 pounds, about half the size. Females might be only 300 to 400 pounds. So both males and females have become much smaller. This could be because the bears are thinner, losing weight as their food becomes harder to find. But their skull sizes are smaller too, suggesting that changes are more permanent, not simply a result of a short-term change in food supply. The problems facing the polar bear are potentially disastrous. Scientists are working to better understand the role humans are playing in climate change and what actions can be taken to address its impact. Conservationists are also trying to come up with ways to help the bears survive despite the shorter winters. A short-term solution may be to create land refuges for them, because their survival at the moment depends on the availability of ice and food. If people can provide these magnificent animals with a safe place to live and find food for a short while, hopefully the polar bear can adapt to its changing environment.